Well, for the last time of the regular season, we've got Braves soccer from Lumbee River EMC Stadium as the Braves are set to take on the Mountain Lions from Young Harris College in Peach Belt Conference action. Good afternoon and welcome to the UNCP Sports Network. Alongside my color commentator Trevor Williams, I'm Matt Sabatis, and we should have an exciting one today. Both teams coming in a 6-2-1 clip in conference play, and Trevor, the winner of this matchup, should be walking away with a home playoff game in the Peach Belt Conference tournament.
And a chance that they'll be playing the same opponent come Tuesday. So there's a lot riding on this match for Lars Anderson and the Braves. They're excited to be at home, a chance to get that home spot in the PBC tournament and do it right here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium.
Well, we'll see if it goes anything like last match against the University of South Carolina at Aiken, Trevor, and boy, oh boy, was that a thrilling match. Alexis Pittman put the Braves on the board first in the 67th minute before the Pacers responded in the 85th minute. Before the Braves thought all was lost, Alexis Pittman picked up the brace, found it in the back of the net in the 90th minute of the match, gave the Braves the victory. It was a heck of a game.
Well, if it's going to be like that today, we're in for a nail-biter, another heck of a match. I think Lars Anderson would like to see it wrapped up a little earlier than the 90th, but certainly these two teams have the potential to go the distance, so it'll be a lot of fun to watch today.
Well, time to key in on a couple of the players we're going to watch in today's matchup for Young Harris College and the Mountain Lions. It's going to be Lucero Rubayo. Picked up a hat trick against Georgia Southwestern just a couple of days ago, took over the leading scorer position with that hat trick. She's going to be a pretty big player for the defense to try and contain.
Well, how about picking up the hat trick in the first half at that? So there's a lot to contend with when you look at Rubayo and the defense trying to stop her, but the Braves' defensive backline's been very good this year. It's going to be a great matchup.
Now for the Braves, we want to keep an eye on Alexis Pittman. We mentioned it during the last match recap. She picked up the brace against USC Aiken, retook the lead, 4 goals on this team ahead of Stacy Scott. It was her 4th game-winning goal of the season as well. Hopefully she can contribute just as much because, boy, oh boy, she's having one heck of a freshman campaign.
Yeah, right now tied up with that team, actually taking that team leading goals as we mentioned. And when you look at her, Lars Anderson has said not a selfish player at all. In fact, sometimes he thinks she's a little too unselfish, so watch for her to keep it at her feet this afternoon.
Well, it should be a fun one. Senior day here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium. We'll see how it goes when we come back right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Well, a windy senior night here in Pembroke, North Carolina. As we've got the Braves and Young Harris College Mountain Lions alongside Trevor Williams, I'm Matt Sabatis. We thank you as always for joining us. And Trevor, this win wasn't even much of a factor when we set pregame just a few minutes ago.
Well, thank goodness for my hair, right? I mean,
mine's already a lost cause. Let's be honest here.
We've seen this before. It'll get breezy here on the pitch. It's going to impact the balls that are played high, and we'll see how the Braves handle it. I felt like it was a couple matches back against Leeds McRae. They had similar conditions. They had trouble in the first half actually keeping it down on the turf, it seemed like. So now for UNC Pembroke, the question will be, do they learn from the conditions? But all in all, it's a pretty beautiful day for soccer.
That's what I was just about to say. Regardless of the wind, beautiful big blue sky here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium as we're set to see who's going to be taking the 4th seed for the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. The Braves looking for the W. If they can walk away with it, they'll most likely host. Actually, if they do win, they will host no matter what. And they'll either host Young Harris College or Georgia College. We'll get you the full seating rundown down the line, but We're ready to get underway as Lucero Rubayo is going to be taking the first touch from the midfield stripe. Mountain Lions in the purple kits, black pants, Braves in their white kits, black numbers, black pants. And we're underway. Carly Zacharias in the backfield alongside Christina Moreno. Moreno with the touch, covered by Stacy Scott. Clears it well ahead. Jasmine Senecal Guzman trying to keep it from the touchline, but lets it go, and Braves will take the throw in.
And already interesting of note for UNC Pembroke, it looks more like a 3-deep backline at the start. Typically they run a 4-3-3, but Lars Anderson's mentioned the last couple weeks he's kind of been changing the midfield a little bit. It's
understandable too, as the girls in the back line are powerful enough as it is. You can probably take one away and they'll still be able to contend with a lot of forward attacks.
I think part of it too, he really likes Katie Ryan's ability to move from the back line up forward. They can kind of play this hybrid 4-3-3, 3-4-3. It's an interesting way to work it.
She can definitely be a good transitional player. That's something we talked about a lot in that USC Aiken game. Another toss out on the touchline, this time by Hadley Hughes. Throw in coming from Christine Rolfe. Stacy Scott in pursuit on the near side, isn't able to get there. A little contact and a whistle foul against the Brave. Starting 11 on the pitch for UNC Pembroke. Gina Ryan in net as usual. Alexis Pittman, Kate Weisner, Carly Rochelle, Shannon O'Neill with Christine Rolfe, Jasmine Senecal Guzman, and Katie Ryan, the defenders, Stacy Scott and Haley Stewart on as well. Another throw in coming for the Braves. This is Rolfe's. Taking it at the midfield stripe. We'll get to the starting 11 for Young Harris and the Mountain Lions in just a couple of seconds. Headed first on the throw in by Carly Rochelle. Picked up the game-winning goal last time these two teams met. We had the 109th minute winner against Lise McRae just a couple of weeks ago. It was a 109th minute winner for Carly Rochelle this time last year. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point again for these Pembroke Braves, as that intensity might be a little too much for my heart to handle.
And for Lars Anderson's heart to handle. And
his is probably a little more important than mine.
And he's very proud of his hair. I don't know if it's going to stay nice and jet black if they keep playing this way.
Well, the wind's probably affecting it too, but then again, I think he uses a little more gel than you and I do, Trevor.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He'll always be better looking than me. So
throw in for Young Harris back out on the far touchline. They'll get another one. Starting 11 on the pitch for the Mountain Lions. The goalkeeper, Nicole Medeiros, senior out of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Throw in on the far touchline, picked up by Lucero Rubayo, one of the big key players we highlighted pregame. Junior out of Bogota, Colombia. Headed away, Braves clear it. Carly Rochelle, beautiful play. And Stacy Scott with the speed, looking for Alexis Pittman. She's onside, but got a lot of ground to cover for this one. Isn't able to get there. It's off on the near side touchline. The rest of the 11 for Young Harris. Carly Zacharias, the senior out of Plantation, Florida, the defensive. Christina Moreno, alongside Sonia Ratkovic, Bailey Roche, Elin Peterson, Maria Guzman, we mentioned Lucero Rubayo. Hadley Hughes, as this one comes in, picked up by the keeper, Medeiros, rather. After Hughes, it's Emily Ober, and then Maria Martinez, senior, also out of Bogota, Colombia. A lot of international players on this squadron. People from Brazil, Colombia, and Christina Moreno herself is from Spain. Colleen Johnson is from Anguilla.
And no surprise, as usual, much deeper bench as well.
That's understandable. Their bench about twice the size of the Braves bench. But the Braves haven't let their 18 and 17 falter. Coming up on this last home game of the regular season. Pittman finds Scott under pressure to the corner. Hooked a little, a whistle and a foul. Braves will have some good placement on this free kick.
And that was feet from being disastrous for Young Harris. Had she been, looks like maybe a yard forward, we're looking at a penalty kick, and the Braves certainly would have taken that early on. But interesting to watch Stacy Scott early on coming off an injury. Still kind of looks like she has a little hitch in the giddy-up in terms of running, but is being very creative with her ability to space defenders by shielding them off.
Nick Jaramillo, the head coach for Young Harris, in his first season, the interim head coach. 9-4-1. Pretty good record to maybe make a case at going from interim to full-time, but that's yet to be seen. The free kick onto the left side. Bounce back, the Braves have it! It's bounced around, pinballing. Nobody can get it into the back of the net, and it's cleared away by Young Harris. Stacy Scott and Alexis Pittman had feet on it, but Young Harris was able to turn it away. Nicole Medeiros, a great chance.
Boy, that was a mess of it, but I think Hadley Hughes is going to get the credit for clearing it off the back line. Very well done by the defender, but that's a play the Braves are going to feel like they needed to finish.
Quick toss into Raballo. And this is Maria Martinez. Looks out on the far side, finds an opening with Maria Guzman, the junior out of Bogota, Colombia. A lot of contact from Katie Ryan, going one-on-one with Bailey Roche, and right to the other Ryan on this team, Gina.
It's just the kind of shot that's not going to work against the Peach Belt Conference's leading goalkeeper. You can't be looking at distance with the light send-ins. I understand the idea just to start to put a little pressure in the box, but as the match goes on, watch for Young Harris to try to change that attack.
Top in the conference, Gina Ryan, in just about every conceivable category. The only one that she's not in the top 3 for is overall wins, which is understandable since the Braves are 4th in the conference. And other than that, total number of saves, which is more of a testament to the stellar defense in front of her than to Gina Ryan's goalkeeping abilities.
And underratedly good at drawing sidewalk chalk, we found out before the match. They were out putting the seniors down on the pavement outside.
Got to celebrate senior day. That much is at least understandable. A high, probably wind-affected kick there, and easy pickup for Nicole Medeiros. Senior goalkeeper, a lot of seniors on this squadron for Young Harris. The seniors being honored today for UNC Pembroke, Katie Watkins. Her last home game as a Brave, at least in the regular season, should the Braves win today. Alongside Courtney Boger, Kimsey Collins, Kate Weisner, Jasmine Senecal Guzman, and Alexis Hurd. All players that will be dearly missed come this time next year, but I don't think head coach Lars Anderson is too concerned by any stretch.
Well, it's going to be a big bummer anytime you lose players, it is, but you look at a few key players that will be coming back. Obviously, both the Ryan sisters, Christina Stevenson, and then Stacy Scott and Alexis Pittman, your leading goal scorers. So there are going to be some big shoes to fill, but the Braves are also well set up for next year.
So a foul on Young Harris again, and another free kick incoming. It'll be Katie Ryan taking the set piece this time. Barmy Army, already in effect.
They're building a fortress, Lars Anderson said.
Up high, Medeiros right into the gut.
And Lars was talking about last match. These guys, the supporter section for the Braves, they weren't here. The season opening match against Limestone, and that's the only match the Braves have lost at home. So their leader, Ed, has said, Coach, we are building a fortress. And I can't mimic his British accent, but it's fantastic.
Well, it was a historic turnout. Last game against USC Aiken, Think Pink Night brought 540 fans to Lumbee River EMC Stadium. Unfortunately, not every single fan was for UNC Pembroke, and not every single fan joined the Barmy Army. But maybe they can turn them around. As a matter of fact, the cheerleaders have made an appearance.
I'll tell you what, that crowd made a big difference in the final 5 minutes of the match, though.
Oh boy, did it!
And Lars Anderson talked about it, just the energy and his team's ability to keep energy with 5.5 minutes to play was very impressive, because they faced an equalizer late in the match. That's a typical time where you can see a team fold and kind of get back on their heels. The Braves didn't look like that at all in the closing minutes.
Fired up Alexis Pittman to collect the brace in the 90th minute, sealing the victory for the Braves, and keeping them in this running for the 4th place spot in the Peach Belt Conference, something they need to control today. Not only watching this game, but we're also watching the number 8 Columbus State Cougars at Georgia College, as well as Clayton State on the road at number 17 Flagler. The outcome of both of those games and this one will determine overall seeding in the Peach Belt Conference and who will play where. We'll give you the full breakdown later on in this match, maybe at halftime. As this one heads out on the far end line, we'll have a corner kick incoming for Young Harris.
That was very nice work by Raballo. 1, just to be able to cycle it back to the end line and earn the crossing opportunity, and then 2, to notice that she had the defender out of position, could just play it off him for a corner. That's something that you're going to see from a team leader and a junior.
Early on, her footwork has been looking pretty phenomenal out there. Not much can be said.
As advertised.
Here's the corner, up front, headed by Stacy Scott, cleared away by the Braves. Another quick header by Shannon O'Neill, and she's got a breakaway. Alexis Pittman not able to get there. It's broken up, but O'Neill regains, finds Pittman again, who's onside. Trying to look ahead, couldn't pass it, as Carly Rochelle was offside, and it gets cleared away by Young Harris.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. That flag was going to be up had the Braves gone forward with it, so referee didn't see it, but now they get a chance to continue on.
Weisner to the far side touch line, and It'll be a throw in for Young Harris. Weisner heads it. Saved by Young Harris before it heads out, and Sarah Robayo trying to make a big impact quick, but Christina Stevenson, Jasmine Senecal-Guzman not giving her any breathing room.
And just watch these forwards for the Braves. Both Stacey Scott and Alexis Pittman. Pittman not right now because she's tying her shoe, but they'll fly around at the top of this, and Lars Anderson talks about it, defending from the forwards back. It really starts with them controlling that early portion of the midfield. It's a big part of the Braves' defense.
We talked about it a lot last game against USC Aiken as well, just the flying speed that not necessarily Stacey Scott, but Alexis Pittman was bringing to the table in that matchup. She was absurd just on the pitch.
She's unbelievable. There's going to be a lot of teams in the Peach Belt crossing their fingers that she doesn't have great off-season training sessions.
Yeah, well, she's still got 3 more years here in Pembroke, North Carolina, and I think a lot of people on this campus are excited for that.
I don't know how much faster you can get because I'm not a fast person, so I don't understand it.
Don't talk to me about speed.
But if she gets any faster, I mean, it's just phenomenal, and the biggest thing is going to be her ability to continue to control the ball at her feet as she has that speed already.
Throw in for Roche. Braves clear it, though. Stacey Scott in pursuit, not able to get there in time. It's picked up by Moreno. A little bit of a push. Christina Stevenson recovers, clears it out onto the near side for Martinez. One hard clip into Gina Ryan's gut, and second save of the day for the sophomore goalkeeper.
Another shot from distance. We'll see Young Harris start to spread it out a little bit more right now. They're kind of playing in the center of the park. They got a lot more field outside. When they start seeing that, it's going to help them get outside of the Braves midfielders.
Christina Stevenson saving the goal kick from being thrown right back around by Gina Ryan. Stacey Scott in pursuit at the corner, and a whistle foul on the junior out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. We set piece for Young Harris.
We got to get the cheerleaders in on the
I was
Barmy
gonna
Army
say,
chants.
I think these interlocking chants aren't really working out very well. The Barmy Army, I think, takes precedent for this. This is the first time the cheerleading squad is out here.
See, again, the Braves force it back into the middle of the field. They're doing a good job of taking away the wide side.
Martinez intercepting the pass, but into the hands of Alexis Pittman. She's onside to the corner, muscled away and cleared wide.
You know the old NBA Jam game, Matt, where they used to have the fire going off the basketball? When
She's got to have fire on those feet. That's what
exactly. When she's running, it's unbelievable, the closing speed to overtake a defender even to get into the box. It's just amazing to watch.
So, of course, the last touch was on Medeiros, so it will be a corner kick for Christina Rolfs. Corner number 103 for this UNC Pembroke squadron, if we can see it. Into Rolfs, headed by the Braves. Scott has a chance, in pursuit to the corner. Or Jasmine Senecal-Guzman, rather, picks it up, finds Rolfs again, cross up front, nearly tossed in by Rochelle, goes one more time, and out wide.
It's a focus for the Braves. We've already seen a couple times to get the ball pinballing around in the box, and Lars Anderson talked about in the last match, he didn't feel like necessarily the team played poorly, but he thought finishing in the final third was the trouble for the Braves. A couple chances you've seen that ball in the box. Look for them to get an early finish. He wants to see it in the first 20 minutes today.
And that's something that didn't happen to USC Aiken when the Braves were flurrying the shots on the keeper in that matchup, but nothing found its way into the back of the net, and their pace just started to slow down a little bit as the half progressed. Hopefully that's something, changes this time around. Braves get on the board quickly.
And as much as you probably don't want to say it affects you as a team, there's no way mentally when you have shot after shot after shot and you can't get the goal that it doesn't start to build up in your mind just a little bit. I mean, obviously you want to mitigate that as a player, but when that feeling builds up, that's where we've seen teams that come in on the road and they start to get that increased confidence. This is what Young Harris is trying to build on today.
Well, the Braves have some of the best confidence in the Peach Belt Conference when it comes to playing on their home turf. Only one home loss this season, and that was a non-conference matchup against Limestone College. Braves drew a tie with the number 5 team in the country at this very pitch just a couple of weeks ago against Flagler, and they're looking to close out their conference regular season at home without being handed a defeat. An opportunity, but they need to get on the board at some point. Throw in for Young Harris. Picked up on the far side by Guzman. Headed to the corner. able to find Raballo. Back up top for Martinez. Wants to take a hard one at it. Instead, looks for the cross for Roche. Roche wasn't expecting it. This one headed to the far side touchline.
Just a slight miss kick.
Could be a bit of the wind as well, as that is the direction of the gusts. Either way, it'll be a throw-in for Young Harris. Guzman takes it and tips it to Martinez at the top of the midfield circle. Guzman looking around and clears it back to her defenders. Cristina Moreno will try and give the offense a chance to reset themselves. Not really much working. This is Elin Peterson now. Directly at midfield, Braves trying to pincer on her. Cristina Rolfs in pursuit of Martinez. To the corner of the box for Raballo. Mentioned during pregame, picked up the hat trick against Georgia Southwestern. All 3 goals coming in the first half. A cross, a missed chance at a header. Katie Ryan breaks up the play, and Alexis Pittman, or Christina Stevenson rather, clears it out. This is Pittman with the speed. On the near side touchline. Taps it off the defender, and the Braves will get the throw in.
Just down to our left side, Raballo made that play, able to step back and forth, in and out, and then get the cross into the box. You have to watch out when they're going to be marking her 1v1 because you have to be very, very disciplined with your movement as a defender.
It's already seemed as though they're trying to feed her on that side of the box multiple times this game. Throw in finds Carly Rochelle, headed to the end line, looking for the corner kick, won't get it. It'll be a goal kick for Nicole Medeiros. Minute number 17 of this contest, we're still scoreless. Braves have had 3 shots, 2 on goal. Young Harris only 1 shot, it was on goal. Medeiros, the senior out of Rio de Janeiro, didn't need to make a single save in the game against Georgia Southwestern. The Hurricanes had 1 total shot, and it was wide right.
Sounds like the very afternoon Gina Ryan had against Southwestern.
So you can maybe assume that she's a little bored or maybe a little anxious for this one. Pittman with the attempted cross is blocked and intercepted by Young Harris.
Well, the Braves certainly got her heart pumping early on with the ball loose in the box, was cleared off the back line, and a couple opportunities, but I'm excited to see how she plays this afternoon because she could be a really, really big difference maker for Young Harris.
This is Guzman finding Raballo. And back to Martinez, right below the circle. Quick little lift into the hands of Ober, but the Braves looking to break it up. Beautifully headed by Katie Ryan, but not enough speed. A foul whistled regardless on Ober. Braves will get a free kick.
I think they had Ober as Ryan was trying to run across. The referee said she just kind of had her leg out in front of Katie Ryan, and it was enough to warrant a trip.
Seemed to be when it was going, but the way Ryan recovered it almost seemed as though
yeah, it's one of those ones. One of those ones I almost would have probably liked to see just be allowed to play on.
Exactly.
There's nothing egregious for Young Harris. It's just both players going for the ball.
Of course. Bailey Roche on the far side. In pursuit, Katie Ryan doesn't go, and now Jasmine Cynical Guzman on Raballo. Far side for Peterson. And right back out to Zacharias. Few touches she's had this game. Christina Stevenson nearly intercepts Raballo, but she finds Peterson back on the far side. Ryan looking for the touchline. Gets it. Braves will have to throw it. Right into the legs of Carly Rochelle. Not the fastest out there, but she's got some great footwork. Tries to find Stacey Scott, doesn't get it. Braves will have another throw in. And now the cheerleaders are starting to get into the Barmy Army's chance.
Give it by half. I think this whole field will be feeling it.
Well, they're learning whose house this is. They're learning. Here's Ryan with the throw-in. 18 and a half minutes gone in this first half. Another throw-in for Katie Ryan.
That supporter group, I mean, underrated how much fun it is for the players. I mean, just to have that kind of energy on the field, especially a long grinding game like soccer, to hear those chants and the songs and everything, it's a big lift.
Big lift there from Katie Ryan. Pittman looked for the header, but picked out of the air by Nicole Medeiros.
Really like that from Medeiros, just to be able to get up and be confident with the hands, make the easy catch, just trust her stuff. It's very well done.
Well, she's definitely got a pretty big size factor against a lot of these girls on the pitch, and especially against her counterpart on the opposite side of the field. Medeiros 5'11", Gina Ryan only 5'7". I guess you can't say Katie Ryan is 5'7" too. Fancy footwork here from Young Harris, but Shannon O'Neill keeps the pressure high, intercepts it, and finds Alexis Pittman on the near side. See what Pittman tries for. Goes for Stacy Scott. Well, if you want to see a good crowd, be sure to catch us on the UNCP Sports Network. And I'd say about 3.5 hours from now, we've got football coming your way. If Trevor and I make it there alive.
We've hardly been able to turn off the network this week. It's just been event after event, but you wouldn't have it any other way at the end of October.
Yeah, of course. Tuesday, volleyball at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court. Soccer on Wednesday here against USC Aiken. Braves with the 90th minute brace from Alexis Pittman to pick up the W. Basketball, the All-Army game, opening exhibition contest. They won by 15, and now a double-up match today on Saturday as Stevenson hits the deck with Hadley Hughes. A foul whistled, and the Braves will have a free kick on what's already the third foul of the match for Young Harris.
Yeah, a good foul at that. You keep it out from distance a little bit. Rolfs is fairly dangerous, so Young Harris want to watch out, but you get a lot more worried when Stacey Scott works towards the end line, gets those crossing opportunities. She's been very good at assists this year.
It was quite a physical match when these two teams met in the season finale last year. Braves were handed 3 yellow cards. Young Harris was handed a yellow and a red. Free kick, headed, missed by Jasmine Cynical-Guzman. She was looking for her first goal of the year.
Just a sliver of a second. I mean, that rolls off kind of the back portion, the crown of the head instead of, well, you want it more on the crown. She got it more kind of right on the top. So very close. That's just a game of inches in that moment.
Looked to be she was just a split second, a slip ahead of the shot. Regardless, goal kick incoming from Medeiros here in minute number 23. We're still looking for one of these teams to connect to the back of the net. Good header from Katie Ryan. Brings it back to the midfield stripe, picked up by Bailey Roche. Out on the far side touchline, and this is something the Braves did very well against USC Aiken, turning goal kicks around fast and going right back on the offensive attack.
Their midfield's just so good at the first play on a goal kick. It starts with the headers usually, and Christina Stevenson seems to always be in the conversation. Lars Anderson's called her the best midfielder the team has. I'm sure he would probably say she's one of the better ones in the conference as well.
Well, and as you say it, there she was with the header. Katie Ryan's been doing a good job today too, especially for her 5'7" frame. Heading on it is Kate Weisner, trying to avoid giving up the corner kick, isn't able to do so. Or the goal kick, I should say. Getting my sides mixed up here.
That's kind of play Lars Anderson really wants. So he likes the big ball forward. They especially like to work the corners to get the crossing opportunities. He's going to trade off some of those miscues every once in a while because he knows they're going to strike big on the type of cross that gets him a goal.
Weisner looking for her first goal since the 2-1 loss the Braves suffered on the road at North Georgia. She has picked up some crucial assists this season, though. One in the 109th minute winner against Lees McRae, and then the game winner in the 90th minute just 2 nights ago against USC Aiken. And the clearance incoming from Nicole Medeiros. Young Harris keeping it short, though. I'm surprised as to why. Those Braves midfielders, Trevor, as you've said, have been pretty full of the pressure when it comes to keeping the ball on this side of the pitch.
Well, in the last one, I mean, Christina Stevenson never touches the goal kick, but the way she positions herself with the offensive midfielder of Young Harris created a situation where it had to go back towards their box. So even when she's not touching the ball, she's still affecting the play.
Cynical-Guzman tries for Stacy Scott, but Scott not the proper positioning to haul it in. Christina Stevenson, a beautiful header to keep the goal kick on this side of the pitch. Kate Weisner can't get there in time. It'll be a throw-in for Young Harris. Coming up at the 26th minute here in Pembroke, North Carolina. Only 1/2 yet to get in the books. Beautiful interception there from Katie Ryan on the far side touchline. Looking to use some speed, a trip. Looks like this will be a foul. It will. Already 4th on the day now.
Play's going to draw that a lot. I mean, it was close, but when the player is not quite shoulder to shoulder with the offensive player, you're going to get that foul call more often than not. But it was a very close foul.
Braves set, and the high arcing kick from Katie Ryan, looking for Stacy Scott, but the wind might have carried it a little. Right into the hands of Medeiros. That's one of the things that I think you could properly say between Katie and her sister Gina is that we mentioned it last game, is that while Gina doesn't have the most powerful goal kicks, which could be attributed to her size, it works out for Katie on those free kicks because not only does she not need to muscle it as far, obviously, but she can place the ball wherever she really wants to.
Yeah, and at that point on the set pieces, the pinpoint accuracy starts to trump power at the end of the day, because when you have tall targets and towering players like Stacey Scott on the back end, it's more important just to get the ball where Scott can do something with it.
All it comes down to, though, is that wind being a factor. We'll see if it continues to do so. The American flag in the back left corner of your screen is billowing ever so slightly as we reach minute number 27 of this first half. Braves defense trying to clear this one out, finally done so by Haley Stewart, finding Stacey Scott, looking for someone as she slows her roll. And eventually finds Carly Rochelle, but intercepted, cleared away by Young Harris. Christina Rolfs heads it back in. Scott looking for it. No, broken away by Maria Guzman.
And if I'm Young Harris, I want to start thinking about getting the ball back over to the near side of the pitch as people see it on their screens, because you're attacking a portion of the back line that's so strong for UNC Pembroke.
This is a hefty foul.
But to finish that thought, you come back around the near side. I think you have a little better chance against Rolfs and Stewart. It's not necessarily the best because they're still very good defenders, but I've been interested that Young Harris really has not been able to get any action going on the near side.
The open field has been where those two have been pretty much feasting throughout this game. If you get it closer to the touchline, I agree with you. It might go a little more in Young Harris's favor. Set piece for the Braves. Gets them an opportunity here. Kate Weisner, or rather, Shannon O'Neill trying to turn on the speed, the footwork. Just unable to connect, and Young Harris takes possession back. Rabayo trying to whip her way across the midfield stripe. Shannon O'Neill putting the pressure, a hard push off, no whistle. Lars Anderson looking for it, he's fired up, in a quick little tap ahead into the goalie's box, but cleared away by Christina Rolfs, picked up by Alexis Pittman. Good play there from the Braves. Pittman blocks it to keep it on the near side touchline. This one's headed close, and Pittman won't be able to race there in time. It's a throw-in for the Mountain Lions.
I'm talking about Lars Anderson being frustrated as they have to wait to get a sub over from the table, but Lars Anderson being frustrated in the last no foul call, and really both coaches should be, because all that's going to do is increase the hand fighting that's already occurring. This early in a match, referee can set the tone by making that call, and it would help the game stay a lot cleaner throughout.
Miranda Simpson for Bailey Roche. Simpson, the freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, had 2 assists in the 9-0 victory for Young Harris over Georgia Southwestern. Might be a good reason as to why Nick Jaramillo is bringing her onto the pitch now, looking for some fancy footwork to set up a goal and not necessarily a play creator in their own right. Quickly out to Simpson, getting her first touch of the match, and right back across onto Young Harris' side of the pitch. Alexis Pittman gets it off the rebound and tries to clear it ahead with not enough speed. She'll race there to avoid the throw-in, does so. Looking for the cross now. An opening, not in time. Up by Moreno. Martinez finds an opening now with Hadley Hughes. Rather not Hughes, Emily Ober racing for it, looking for Rabayo, but Jasmine Cynical Guzman was able to set enough defense to let Gina Ryan scoop it up.
The team speed at UNC Pembroke is one of its most impressive qualities. That's what allows this team to separate itself so much. You saw there Shannon O'Neill even able to chase down a runner on the near side, prevent a carry down towards the Braves box. Makes all the difference on that play.
Which is what's even more amazing considering their slim numbers on the bench. Looking for the cross, Kate Weisner finds an opening, looking for Pittman, intercepted, tapped away. Hadley Hughes with the near goal saving kick, and the Braves will have to try again.
I'll tell you what, Hadley Hughes having a match so far. Has already cleared one off the line a couple of times in front of volleys. It's a very impressive work by the defender.
Braves putting the pressure on. Haley Stewart able to get the ball back on Young Harris' side of the pitch. It's a throw-in for the Mountain Lions here in minute number 31. Still scoreless. Alongside Trevor Williams, I'm Matt Sabatis. We always enjoy having you here on the UNCP Sports Network, and a handball on Katie Ryan.
Inadvertent, but they'll stop it just because it did impact the play. gives Young Harris a chance to set something up, and this will be critical to see if they can work something from the top of the box and finally start to create some pressure inside the 18.
Katie Watkins at the check-in table for UNC Pembroke. Bumping it out is Maria Guzman, not able to get anything. It's tapped out on Katie Ryan. It'll be a corner kick incoming for Young Harris. No, a throw-in on the far touchline, my apologies. Finding Guzman quickly is Miranda Simpson. Simpson has an opening to the corner, but Jasmine Cynical Guzman meets her there. Simpson clears it, looks for the cross, howled out of the air by Gina Ryan.
Absolutely beautiful work by Simpson. That's a very difficult play for Gina Ryan. That's what Young Harris was looking for, was to create something that forced the UNC Pembroke keeper to make a play. Ryan just stepped up and did.
That's just a testament to her reaction time, too. That was so close to the end line, you might not have expected a cross attempt from Simpson.
And it had great pace on it. I mean, it was the type of cross that you can get to pop out of a goalkeeper's hands, spill in the box, then all of a sudden you're inside the 6 with a great opportunity. It was very well done by Young Harris.
Pittman can't get there, Ratkovich does. Young Harris takes it back the opposite way. Stevenson looking for the quality defense alongside Carly Rochelle, and they get it. Braves with possession now. Right to the feet of Kate Weisner, back to Shannon O'Neill. Taps it ahead for Stacy Scott. A lot of contact, no whistles, and Young Harris comes away. Christina Moreno on the far side for Elin Peterson. Tap her ahead to Lucero Robayo. Hat trick in the first half against Georgia Southwestern. It's understandable that Mountain Lions want to feed her as much as they can today's contest. Peterson once again onto the far side with Guzman. Simpson now into the corner. Braves leave her open a little bit. Sliding attempt doesn't convert for Ober, and Jasmine Cynical Guzman will surrender the ball to Gina Ryan.
It's eventually a good decision to realize they had time, and that's communication from Gina to tell Jasmine, hey, nobody around. Gives the keeper a chance to reset it.
Tanisha Taylor at the check-in desk for Young Harris. An opening for Robayo. She's on sides, but the Braves are in pursuit. Haley Stewart pressuring her out to the touchline. Towards the end line, Robayo looks for the cross, has an opportunity, but Christina Stevenson taps it away. Jasmine Cynical Guzman saves it off the interception. Alexis Pittman, the one-timer to clear it right back into Young Harris' side of the field.
If there's someone on the back end of that, that would have been a top 10 volley by Alexis Pittman to change the feet and put it in a gap. I mean, she had it in between a couple defenders. There's just no one to run onto it for UNC Pembroke.
At least it changed the momentum. The Braves can be happy that much with that fact. Good footwork from Martinez. Crosses it up, looking for Robayo. Haley Stewart trying to intercept, unable to do so. Picked out of the air by Guzman. Trying to go one-on-one with Stevenson. Back to Martinez now with Kate Weisner, and they'll clear it back to the defense.
And ever since Young Harris's first substitution, we'll be able to see Robayo creep more into the middle of the field. It's helping them with the attack because now they're not so one-dimensional going just out to one side.
Riley Searing now at the check-in box for UNC Pembroke as well. So 3 check-ins set to come at the next stoppage, and Young Harris trying to make the most of their current opportunity. Emily Ober with some space. Takes it off a bounce, right into the gloves of Gina Ryan. She makes those look easy.
Yeah, and that's not an easy play. I mean, it's from distance, yes, but well done again to put it high, force the goalkeeper to make the catch. Gina Ryan, just, you don't see her, I can't recall a time this year where I've seen her bobble a catch that it has led to a goal. It's just very unusual.
You can tell that Young Harris is scouted properly, and they're probably just also relying on Gina Ryan's height, but she's proven time and again that that's not a factor for her in net.
No, I mean, you'll see her get to the crossbar very well also. A couple times this year, she's been able to tap it up above the crossbar. Surprising vertical for 5'7", but if you can spring out of it okay and you position yourself well, that's the biggest part of making those stops.
Finally at the whistle and our check-ins now entering the game.
It's worth mentioning when we talk about Gina Ryan, a lot of credit Lars Anderson gives to Brittany Padilla's assistant coach, who works with both Gina and Courtney Boger as well. And Courtney Allman rather, excuse me. They both work extensively with Brittany, and she does a great job with them.
That's a lot of the connection as well, just with the fact that Padilla had spent so much time not only as a Pembroke Brave, but under Lars as well. She's able to communicate very well because she was in the very same shoes that these girls are in.
Yeah, they're a fantastic coaching staff to pair together. They have great personalities that feed off each other really well, and the players, you can tell, just enjoy showing up to practice and training with them, and that goes a long way when your team just enjoys the process. It makes the whole thing so much easier.
Off the goal kick, Young Harris comes away with possession, and Maria Martinez looking for an opening, able to find on the near side Elin Peterson. Tapped back to Bailey Roche. Back to Peterson. Young Harris looking for an opening to get it off of their side of the field. Finally able to do so and take it right back. Martinez seems to be there just trying to kill clock at this point.
Well, and expect that far side midfield to be very tough to contend with now because you're going against the two fresh legs for UNC Pembroke, where both Watkins and Searing are posted on that side. Again, kind of like a broken record, Young Harris would probably like to get it back to this near side.
Well, they get it to midfield, but unable to do anything there as Stacy Scott makes a hard try to intercept that one, isn't able to do so, and it's back into the legs of Hadley Hughes. A lot of quick passes, one-touch passes. Sonia Ratkovich onto the far side for Miranda Simpson, back to Ratkovich. As the Braves are pushing the Mountain Lions defenders just inches and inches back.
And this is that forward defense we're talking about. You just watch it get more and more confident. The midfielders are now creeping up. All of a sudden, you've got 5 bodies across the midfield line, and Young Harris, every 15 seconds, is another 5 yards further back. It's just that pressure that the Braves continue to apply.
Maybe they're just trying to wear the Braves out to look for an opening with a lot of these quick passes, and finally there is one to Raballo, but it's intercepted by Jasmine Senecal Guzman, a pair of headers, and it's picked right back up by Young Harris. Christina Rolfs in pursuit, not able to beat Emily Ober. Finally picked up by Katie Watkins. Taps ahead to Alexis Pittman too high. Pittman not able to get there. This one headed to the near side touchline. It'll be a throw-in for UNC Pembroke. They finally got where they wanted to be.
Yeah, it's that big ball forward. Lars Anderson talks about it a lot. Just play it big, play it down towards the 18. And his thought process behind that is if you get the ball down on the turf and let your speedy players work with it, he thinks they can out-athleticize just about any team in the Peach Belt.
Ross with the throw-in was trying to set up a corner kick for the Braves, but a great screen from Tanisha Taylor kept that from materializing. It'll be another goal kick for Medeiros. Minute number 39 of this first half. We haven't seen much action. Only 3 shots from UNC Pembroke. 2 of them on goal. 2 shots from Young Harris. They've both been on goal, and Gina Ryan's made each save she's needed to make. Last time these two teams met, though, not only was it a physical contest, it was a shootout. 14 shots on goal for Young Harris going through 2 overtimes. Gina Ryan turned all of them away. Her sophomore season, that's still her career high.
And I think both sides know the magnitude of this match, and it's kind of like a prize fight. Both teams feeling each other out in this opening half. 2 great coaching staffs on either side. Coming into the second half, if it stays scoreless, don't expect it to be that way for long.
Beautiful header. Stacy Scott sets up Alexis Pittman, not able to get there in time. What a chance for the Braves, but Nicole Medeiros was there.
It's the exact look you want. Just a little bit of space and a lot of speed.
Carly Rochelle made contact with the official, Patrick Schmidt, and lost her chance at the header there, but the Braves still hold on to it. Katie Watkins clearing it ahead for Alexis Pittman. She's still onside, flashing the speed, one-on-one with Medeiros. Medeiros once again.
All of a sudden, you're seeing that play forward by the Braves improve in the last 4 minutes or so. You feel like they're knocking on the door of finally finishing on an opportunity.
How many times will Medeiros win the battle? Yet to be seen. But the Braves have 6 more minutes this half to test her. The other officials in today's contest alongside Patrick Schmidt, Taco Cannell and Jeff Rogerson. As this one's a throw-in incoming for the Braves in minute number 41. Beautiful day for Senior Day here at UNC Pembroke, not only for the seniors we mentioned earlier on this soccer team, but also the 7 seniors on the football squad. We'll talk to you about that at 4 o'clock as Trevor's going to take over on the UNCP Sports Network for that one. we hope you can make the trip over on our YouTube page and join us there. Probably a lot less intensive of a journey for you than it is for us, but
Get a little mid-afternoon lunch in there.
We appreciate you joining us regardless.
Eat some lunch for me too, please, all you.
Hey, you had McDonald's right before this game. It'll probably be gone before we start football, let's be honest. Minute number 42. Defense has been the shining star from both sides throughout this contest. Only 5 total shots. Braves lead the mark by 1. As Alexis Pittman is not able to match Ratkovic on that one. It'll be a throw-in for the Braves.
A little frustration from Medeiros. Wanted that ball back instead of being cleared off. She said, look, I could have played that if you put it back on my feet. Not sure that I really blame Ratkovic that much. So it's hard to put a ball back towards your own net. You just don't want to allow the opportunity.
Ratkovic, the sophomore defender, out of Belgrade, Serbia. A lot of international students on this team as the Braves will have a corner kick incoming.
Flashes me back to that Limestone match where seemingly everybody on the pitch for Limestone was not from the United States.
Medeiros from Rio de Janeiro, or Medeiros rather. Cristina Moreno from Spain as Rolfs takes the corner. Little low, Pittman looks to cross it up, isn't able to take it, and one-timer from Katie Watkins doesn't materialize. Katie Ryan picked up on the back end. Back to Christina Rolfs at the corner. Looking for the cross, finds Pittman, splits the legs, bopped high, and headed away. Contact made by Pittman. No whistle, or yes, it looks like the Braves are getting tagged for a foul.
Yeah, the side judge did help out putting the flag up, and it was Medeiros asking for it. I didn't see exactly where the contact came, but I think Moreno might have taken a knee to the side.
Yeah. Would have been a corner kick for the Braves, but the foul ended up being a goal kick. Alongside Moreno, the Spanish product, there's also Ratkovic from Serbia, as we mentioned. Elin Peterson is from Sweden. Maria Guzman from Bogota, Colombia, alongside Lucero Roballo. Same with Maria Martinez, all 3 from Bogota. Tanisha Taylor is from Berlin. Colleen Johnson is from Island Harbor in Anguilla. And then last but not least, Eduarda Chagas is from El Dorado do Sol in Brazil. Sophomore midfielder, we haven't seen her yet this contest. That's over half the players on this pitch do not hail from the United States.
I think I picked the wrong profession sometimes. I'd like to be a recruiting coordinator because you get that passport book stamped up pretty well.
On the near side, Carly Rochelle finds Scott. Scott with those long strides, trying to make up for her speed. Onto the corner, looking for Pittman on the cross. Too high, just a little higher for Riley Searing, not able to make the play. And a throw-in incoming for Young Harris.
And I'm going to make a bold prediction going forward.
Bold prediction time, folks.
With Stacey Scott, because of the injury she's had to go through, because she's not going to play as many runs into the 8-team, she's going to make a difference come PBC tournament time, and you know, knock on wood, dare I say, if they can get to the NCAA tournament, she'll make a difference as a player setting up other players. It's going to become even more dangerous with the speed that she'll have back.
Well, that was a beautiful cross, just a little too much power behind it. And it definitely threw off the Mountain Lions defense, that's for sure. They were looking for Alexis Pittman, but Stacey had Riley Searing in her eyes. Braves keep the pressure on that throw-in from Young Harris and keep the ball on this side of the pitch. Scott gets it into the legs of Carly Rochelle, who looks for an empty side of the field and finds Hadley Hughes instead.
I've been mighty impressed with Hughes. If you're going to give a gold star to the back line for the Mountain Lions in the opening half, it's been Hughes helping out a ton.
She's definitely been the fastest one on the pitch, and by all means the most powerful as well when it comes to going one-on-one with these Braves forwards.
And just beautiful wins of 50-50 balls. I mean, the volley hasn't troubled her at all, and she's gone up against some really great attackers and done a phenomenal job.
Roballo been getting fewer and fewer touches as this half is stretched on. We reach the 45th minute. Young Harris is going to try and close one out to end it. Ober, back to Roballo, sets up and fires one in, a one-hopper into the chest of Gina Ryan. She'll take her time and most likely let the Braves settle themselves into the half. Goal kick a little short, picked up by Tanisha Taylor, cleared back into the Brave side of the field. One-touch pass whiffed by Emily Oburn. The fans jabbing at her a little bit.
Yeah, she ducked her head. She knew too, but that's a tough ball to control.
Final 15 of this first half. Beautiful header from Ober there, but won't be enough time for Young Harris as they clear it back to the defensive line, and with 5 seconds remaining, we'll head to halftime.
We talked about in the open, these two teams were poised to play each other very close, obviously right next to each other, shoulder to shoulder in the standings, and it's shaping up to be a great match this afternoon.
In the most crucial contest of the regular season, to see who will host a quarterfinal conference tournament match. We'll see what happens in the second half. But for the time being, we'll take a break. When we come back, we've got the halftime show coming your way right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd. Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Back in Pembroke, North Carolina, we've got great second half to look forward to, but we're still about 10 minutes removed from the start of it. You ever wonder why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC. Braves are leading in shots right now, but only 4-2. Young Harris, both of their shots have been on goal, while the Braves have only been able to put 2 on goal, though Young Harris leads the way in overall fouls committed. 7 compared to the Braves is 4. The Braves have taken 2 corner kicks. Young Harris has only taken 1 as Trevor Williams rejoins me now on the UNCP Sports Network. And Trevor, it's been a pretty defensive-minded game so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's been very impressive how both midfields have gone about things this afternoon, and that's the biggest thing. I think the UNC Pembroke midfield's winning the battle just a little bit more over Young Harris, but I see some glimpses right now from Young Harris in terms of being able to break it out and get it working. Like I said, both these coaching staffs are very good. Their adjustments at the half are going to be a major key into what happens in the second half of play.
Well, we were looking, as we mentioned pregame, who will be taking the 4th seed in the conference. It's mostly reliant on this game, but it's also reliant on the Columbus State-Georgia College match and the Clayton State-Flagler match. Clayton State and Flagler have yet to kick off. They'll do so in about 3 minutes. Columbus State and Georgia College, coming up on their halftime, are still scoreless. The Braves can either be the 3 seed today, or they can drop all the way to the 6th seed. We'll go from bottom to top to look at the scenarios for UNC Pembroke. If they tie or lose in today's contest and Georgia College defeats Columbus State, which is a bit of a long shot, but it's still possible, UNC Pembroke would be the 6th seed. If they want to be the 5 seed, they'd have to tie or lose today, and Georgia College would have to either tie or fall to Columbus State, which is a more likely option, as Columbus State is the top-ranked team in the conference and I believe 12th in the nation right now, or actually 8th, pardon me. In order for the Braves to be the 4th seed, they need to win today's contest, and they need Flagler to defeat Clayton State, which is also more of a possibility. But Clayton State's been a bit of a dark horse this season overall for the Peach Belt Conference. They're currently 8th, but they do have a 5-9 overall record, so could be something to watch out for, especially as the Braves did tie with Flagler in a 2-2 draw earlier this season. And then for the chance the Braves to take the 3rd seed, they would have to win today, and Flagler would have to tie or fall to Clayton State. Again, bit of an upset opportunity, but still not impossible. If the Braves were the 3rd seed, they would host Young Harris they'd come right back after 4 days.
At that point, just book a hotel, right? Just
Yeah,
hang
for real.
out.
Just stay for a couple more days. Cancel the classes, have a lot of fun there. But that's only if Georgia College wins or ties in their matchup against Columbus State. And if Georgia College falls in that matchup with the Braves, the 3rd seed, then Georgia College will be headed over here.
Well, I got to tell you what, regardless of where the seeding ends up, the Peach Belt Conference Tournament is going to be one of the best tournaments across NCAA soccer heading into the postseason. I mean, the teams seeded 5 through 8 are all going to be able to beat the teams 1 through 4. That's what makes the Peach Belt Conference so fun, and next week, you better hold on to your hats. It's going to be a wild ride.
Well, the term is stacked, Trevor.
Yes.
The field is quite stacked, and
it will not go chalk. I will say that right now.
We'll see which team takes the 4th seed when we come back, though. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the UNCP Sports Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
at feedthepig.org.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieve a lot of the financial burden.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke's varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry. It's one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Adidas, proud sponsor of UNC Pembroke Athletics. Start of the second half here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium alongside Trevor Williams. I'm Matt Sabatis. And we're scoreless as Young Harris and the Mountain Lions try to steal the 4th seed from UNC Pembroke. Braves will get the first touch to start the half, and Trevor, bit of a unexciting first half, so to say, but great defensive matchup at least.
Yeah, you have to find room for enjoyment in the midfield. If you enjoy hard work, you're seeing that on both sides. And I mentioned towards the end of the half, I think one of the hardest working players right now for Young Harris is Hadley Hughes. You just saw Hadley on the far side again, earning the throw-in. But both sides working very, very hard. We've seen a couple chances to either side, but no one able to get it really free to the keeper.
Plus, I think there was also probably 5 minutes of real time with Young Harris just keeping the ball on their defensive side and just quick touching it back and forth.
Yeah, and I'm most excited to see where Nick Jaramillo brings it in terms of adjustments out of the half, because he's going to see things that he can help communicate to his side to help kind of work through that midfield pressure.
Free kick from Rolfs. Headed on, too high, picked up by Medeiros. Jaramillo in his first season, as we mentioned, the interim head coach. 9-4-1 record, makes a pretty beautiful case to be hired on full-time. Played his school years at Palm Beach State College, was a goalkeeper. He was the goalkeeper coach for this team and the men's team at Young Harris. And just for 1 year in this past season before being named interim.
And as much as I talked about the great personalities on the UNC Pembroke side, being around him in pregame a little bit, his team, he does a fantastic job of keeping it loose, keeping the environment fun. The same thing we talked about at UNC Pembroke and how they make showing up to the match fun. Both these coaches do a phenomenal job at that, and I think he would be probably a great full-time head coach for Young Harris as well.
Well, he's definitely a young guy. I think that's something you can switch between him and Lars Anderson, is that while Lars Anderson does have a youthful personality, he's still been here for 17 years. Jaramillo is just only a few years into his coaching career. Spent time at a couple of different nationally ranked Division II schools as an assistant. And even though it is an interim, this is his first head coaching job.
I try to imagine Lars doing this another 40 years.
Quick attempt for Carly Rochelle. Pulled out of the air by Medeiros, and I think he'd be fine with that. I think the department would be fine with that.
Well, and being a Seattle guy, I think about all the comparisons people would probably make to him. And Pete Carroll on the Seahawks has always talked about being an older coach who has a youthful personality. Lars, not near Pete Carroll's age yet, but he's got that same kind of just fun vibe.
He's definitely got the same just build in general, especially in the face. Either way, throw in for Young Harris. Braves quickly take it away. This is Stacy Scott. Can't get the fancy footwork going, pulled away by Ratkovich, and Scott hits the deck, gets up, and regains composure. Braves will try and turn it back around as Young Harris is going for this defensive setup again. Said a couple of seconds ago, probably 5 minutes of real time, that the ball was in possession of Young Harris, but they just elected to keep it on their side of the pitch.
I like the idea already, widening the field. A little tie up there, and
foul on Alexis Pittman.
Yeah, a little shove. Probably the right call. It pushed Hadley out of the way.
But what you were saying, Trevor, I can't see it. They are definitely widening the field more. Young Harris is. Let's see if they do what you were calling out for, though, earlier, and getting it closer to the near side touchline. An opportunity in the corner cleared out by Senecal Guzman.
Well, now, ironically, they'll want that far side touchline because that is where Stewart and Rolfs are. Like I said, it's no knock on Stewart and Rolfs. They're great defenders, but I would rather take my chances on that side than with Senecal Guzman and Katie Ryan.
Well, there's always a position on the field where one player is weaker than usual. It can't be perfect at every single spot. That much is a given.
Braves backline it gets close to perfect sometimes, so it's scary.
That's a fair assessment. Bailey Roche tries for a quick turnaround and into the gloves of Gina Ryan.
And I've been impressed with this entire backline all the way through. I mean, Haley Stewart had a penalty kick earlier this year that was critical in a Braves win. Rolfs, I think, is one of the better backline players at taking the coaching that she gets and then applying it, because you hear Lars talk about things at the end of a match, and then by the next match that Rolfs is in, it's all, you know, built on top of, and she adds to her game. It's fantastic to see them all work together.
Midway through the 50th minute here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium. And a near side throw in for Katie Ryan. Quick header from Stacy Scott, but right into the midst of Young Harris. End of the first half at Georgia College, and Cougars and the Bobcats are scoreless. The outcome of that game will have some say on who could potentially be making the trip either to Young Harris or here to Lumbee River EMC Stadium.
I like Georgia College, a team that gave UNC Pembroke some trouble when they came here, just a 1-0 result. They can stick around, watch out in that match.
Good attempt on the near side, but Gina Ryan tracks it down, watches it sail out, and she'll have the goal kick. As Clayton State and Flagler have just kicked off, they're scoreless though. That's the game that really has the biggest impact on where the Braves will be seated. As we mentioned at halftime, if the Braves win today, a Flagler loss or tie means the Braves are the number 3 seed in the conference. A Flagler win and a Braves win means the Braves are the number 4 seed. A lot of that can be attributed back to the 2-2 draw the Braves drew with the former number 5 team in the country just a few weeks ago. What a heck of a game that was. Braves tied it in the 89th minute to send it to overtime.
They went double equalizers in that match too. Fell behind in the first 2 minutes of the contest. Didn't phase them.
Throw in incoming for Katie Ryan. And to number 52. Braves already have put on 2 more shots this half. They want to try and get another one, but Medeiros won't give them a chance. Alexis Pittman was racing in, but she was too far behind. Thrown out quickly to Emily Ober, the senior out of Winter Haven, Florida. Scored the 9th and final goal in the last matchup against Georgia Southwestern after she went 5 straight matches without recording a single point.
I love the beginning of that counter, but then again, it came inside for Young Harris, and it just feels like the middle of the field is getting cramped with the UNC Pembroke midfielders.
A lot of these quick touch passes starting to materialize for Young Harris. Attempt at the one-timer doesn't materialize, and Jasmine Senecal Guzman steals it away from Bailey Roche. Tries to clear it out, but bounced right off the gut of Hadley Hughes, and a throw-in for the Braves.
The Mountain Lions showed me, as soon as I was complaining about it being crammed in the middle, they were able to run right down the center seam. But, you know, it is interesting to see how that develops throughout the match.
Maybe they're listening to the broadcast.
Well, if they are, they know to ignore me then.
At least you know more than I do, that's for sure. 53rd minute, and a free kick on a foul for Christina Rolfs. Braves settled. Here comes Rolfs. High arcing, looking for Pittman, isn't able to get the header. And it's headed to the far side touchline. Pittman racing to make an attempt, but the Braves have the throw in regardless. Pittman waits for Rolfs. On to the end line. Looks like Braves will get the corner kick on this one.
I was about to say, Of course, it's easy to say in hindsight, but I was about to say you could see that developing. It seemed like they wanted to get Pittman towards that end line, earn the corner, and they pulled it off beautifully.
Corner number 3 for the Braves today here in minute number 54. See if Christine Rolfs has anything in the pocket. Senecal Guzman playing up close on the line. Let's see. Low kick, looking for Pittman, too far to her left side. Headed away, picked up by Katie Ryan. Right back to Rolfs in the corner. Sets up one time. And Senecal Guzman tries to break up the play, not able to do so, and Bailey Roche is able to give her defense a little bit of breathing room. In pursuit, Katie Ryan, tapped away. Kate Weisner not able to get to the touch line. It'll be a throw-in for Young Harris.
And you wonder when the offenses will break through. And both these sides average nearly 16 shots a match this year. You have a feeling it's not going to stay this way for long, but both teams obviously very aware of what they're playing for, and I think everyone wants to be very perfect right now.
As we mentioned earlier, 14 shots on goal for Young Harris the last time these two teams met. The cross doesn't go for Weisner. It'll be a goal kick for UNC Pembroke, or a corner kick rather. 14 shots on goal last time these two teams met, all turned away by Gina Ryan. And you got to think with the stellar defense both sides are chugging out, Trevor. The first one's probably going to be the only one.
It's going to put a ton of pressure on both sides, especially with the talent we've talked about both goalkeepers. It's definitely going to be that kind of pressure. The first goal will make the biggest difference.
Corner number 4 for the Braves. Rolfs takes it. Looks for Senecal Guzman. Too high. Medeiros, a risky move, but hauls it in. Surprised she tried for that one, but she had confidence in her abilities, and she proved it. Little tapper ahead, picked up by Emily Ober, but not able to match the speed with Haley Stewart. Stewart with some fancy footwork and the ability to clear it out. Picked up by Nick Jaramillo on the sidelines, and Young Harris will get the throw in.
Love that effort by Ober to hold it in. It earned Young Harris this opportunity to keep it on the attacking half.
This is Peterson now. Back to Taylor. Hear that fire truck racing on behind the stadium. Here at Lumbee River EMC. Attempted tackle, Pittman able to convert it over to Stacy Scott. Scott turns on the Jets to the corner, beats the one-on-one, loses her footing, it sails out looking for the whistle. Wow, should be a corner kick, I would hope, for the Braves, but man, oh man, that seems like a missed opportunity and perhaps a missed call, too.
Well, being on the Braves side, I mean, a lot of people call me unbiased, but I don't see how it's not. I mean, I understand she's going towards the inline, there's no shot, but definitely taken down from behind. I'm with Lars Anderson on that. I think that should have been a whistle and probably should have been a penalty kick for the Braves.
Well, the Braves will try and convert on the corner anyway. Number 5 for Christine Rolfs. Up high, a good line, headed by Christina Stevenson and tapped away, still in the air. Kate Weisner isn't able to get there yet, and Young Harris finally clears it.
That time it was Christina Moreno's turn to clear it from in front of net. Did so with a very nice header.
Header by Pearson. Hits it out on the touchline, though, and the Braves have the throw-in. Make it 2 in a row now after Carly Zacharias goes one-on-one with Kate Weisner. Minute number 58 here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium. The Braves set up for this throw-in. Little low, picked up, though, by Shannon O'Neill. Maybe trying to draw the corner, but instead flips around, looks for a cross, finds an opening. One-timer headed by Stacy Scott as it's picked up by Carly Rochelle. Braves are looking for an opportunity. It's cleared away by Young Harris, and they'll get another corner.
So much going on, and I wonder if Scott is okay.
That hit her in the face.
And it wasn't an intentional header. That was one of the ones where
she's just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and Rochelle's trying to send it through. I mean, Scott a little hunched over for a second, but boy, that was another opportunity for the Braves. Rochelle's got a very strong strike.
3rd straight corner kick on this side of the pitch for the Braves. In comes from Christine Rolfs. High header from Scott doesn't go, and it's just saved by Hadley Hughes. With some more of that phenomenal defense from the sophomore.
More volleys for Hadley. Just adding to already the praise we dished out today. I mean, has done a fantastic job as Hughes. That's 2 clearances off the back line, saves a couple goals. It's a big deal.
Well, Christine Rolfs is getting in her cardio, having to Cross on both sides of the touch lines for now the fourth corner in just the past 3 minutes. Little low, the wind affecting it, and it's quickly picked up by Tanisha Taylor. Katie Ryan saves it from the midfield stripe, tries to find Alexis Pittman. Stacy Scott takes it off the rebound. Jasmine Senecal-Guzman sets up, has a lane, and instead looks for the cross for Scott, who has her pocket picked and sent back to Senecal-Guzman. Jasmine, 1-on-2, gets shoved, and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, again, a little extra hand fighting. That time it was Bailey Roche in there. These sides are going to get aggressive. I mean, they both know what they're playing for. It's not a dirty aggressiveness. It's just, like I said, both sides very hard working today.
Free kick for Katie Ryan now. On the near sideline, say about 50 yards out. Headed away by Hughes. Over in St. Augustine, about in the 31st minute, still scoreless between Clayton State and Flagler College. Start of the second half. In the 51st minute, Columbus State and Georgia College still scoreless, and a foul on the Braves.
They said Alexis Pittman might have gotten a hand on it when it bounced off the turf.
Or a handball. Thanks for that catch.
It's hard to see in that. There's a bunch of bodies over in the area, but...
well, also when I'm looking down checking scores.
I'll tell you what, another great thing about this match, too, is for Young Harris and UNC Pembroke, they can both be very excited by the fact that this match feels like a PBC tournament match. You know, it feels in a way like you're playing for your lives without really playing for your tournament lives. So it's kind of a preview, a practice to get that feel, that intensity. It'll be interesting to watch the final 30 minutes of the half, how that unfolds.
And as we said, with a lot of these quick momentum changes, too, it makes you really just feel the intensity build as one team is trying to find their first in the back of the net. Eduarda Chagas, the sophomore midfielder out of El Dorado do Sul in Brazil. Only has one goal this year, came in the second match of the season, a non-conference tilt with Auburn Montgomery. Making her 12th appearance of the year, and I think Nick Jaramillo, with the intensity of this match, is not necessarily scrambling for fresh legs, but might be going a little deeper than usual.
Well, and subs could end up helping a lot. You know, you place a couple good subs here and there, add a couple of minutes for a forward, a midfielder, you get some of that energy back. That's one opportunity where you have to grind away at UNC Pembroke, although it hasn't bothered the Braves much this year.
Braves take an attempt here to clear it out. Kate Weisner not able to get there in time, though. Picked up by Carly Zacharias and tosses it to Elin Peterson. Pittman steals it away. Here we go. Finding an opening with Shannon O'Neill. In the circle now, across midfield, looking for Weisner. Weisner puts the pedal to the metal, not able to get there in time, though, as Christina Moreno beats her to it. Crosses it up and just slightly cleared away from Miranda Simpson. They're going in a triangle now as the Braves are trying to intercept it. Weisner finally does. Looks ahead and tries to find Alexis Pittman with the speed to the end line. Is she able to get there? She is. She might be looking for the corner kick now. She heads towards the touch line. Let's see what she does. Flips it around and heads back to the corner. Intercepted nearly, but the Braves maintain. Christina Stevenson now. Looks ahead for Carly Rochelle. Isn't able to get there, and Katie Ryan picks it up off the rebound. Kate Weisner not able to get there towards the touch line. It'll be a throw-in for Young Harris. Good chance for the Braves, but weren't able to get a proper open opportunity.
Still all about this forward pressure. The Braves bringing up some of their back line as they continue to force the midfield. And Katie Ryan, again, back in that hybrid position. Really not a fourth back, playing more as a midfielder.
Braves turn the tides on the throw-in. A lot of contact. No whistles, though. Rolfs had hit the deck. Peterson had hit the deck. Here in minute number 63. Picked up by Chagas. Clears it ahead, but right into the legs of Jasmine Senecal-Guzman. Kate Weisner will watch it out on the far, or on the near side, rather, touch line. It'll be another throw-in for the Mountain Lions.
I like that combination, the right idea. The touch was just a little too strong out in front. That's going to be the kind of play, though, if Young Harris is going to keep it tight to the midfield, more of that pretty passing is going to be needed to advance the ball through the Braves midfielders.
Minute number 64 in pursuit of that one. Haley Stewart Tries to clear it out, but picked up by Young Harris. A lot of speed on it, but picked out of Bailey Roche's pocket. Braves looking to turn the tides. Katie Ryan going one-on-one. Beautiful move from Miranda Simpson, but Ryan was there to feed it. Chagas getting muscled around, picked up by Shannon O'Neill. O'Neill steals it away, loses her footing. Chagas nearly recovers, but O'Neill is able to hold on tight. Weisner whiffs on the one-touch and heads right back into the legs of Katie Ryan. Onto the near side touchline, Ryan unable to save it. It'll be a throw-in for Young Harris.
She'd be frustrated with herself there, but I mean, that was a beautiful 1v1 mark with Miranda Simpson. To be able to anticipate Simpson's spin behind, step through that ball, it's all you can ask from a defender. Of course, Katie's going to think about the most recent play, not being able to keep it in.
Well, as a sophomore, she's still been one of the shining stars of this defense, and her flashes of speed have been able to go above just about all else in this Peach Belt Conference.
I think the story is, her first match as a Brave got scored on almost right away when she was put in, but since that moment and learning throughout that, it sounds cliche to have kind of one bad play and then recover for the rest of your career, but that's almost what Katie Ryan's been able to do.
Shannon O'Neill unable to get the speed, and a sliding dive from Miranda Simpson takes it out on the near side touchline. Braves will get the throw in and get the substitution of Riley Searing to take off Kate Weisner. No, Stacy Scott, as Weisner initially started rushing to the bench, but heard Scott chirp from behind her. Still scoreless over at Georgia College between the Columbus State Cougars and Georgia College Bobcats. Flagler and Clayton State in the 22nd minute, they're still scoreless as well.
I like substitution Searing, 20 shots, 9 on goal this year with 1 goal scored. He has an opportunity to make a pretty big difference in the middle of the second half.
Freshman has been slightly underrated as this year has progressed, but she has only started 2 games, and that could be why. Lone goal came in the 4-0 win for the Braves, non-conference against Coker College. Great little tap up for Young Harris, but getting there in time was Haley Stewart. It'll be a throw in as that one heads out on the far sideline. Emily Ober ready to go, finds an opening with Bailey Roche. Tries to do a quick turn one-timer, and it's not going to be good enough to phase Gina Ryan.
That's frustration building right there is what it is. It's top of the 18, just feeling like you need to get some pressure into the box. And I think if Young Harris could have held it a little bit more, maybe create more of an opportunity as the foul goes in Pembroke's direction.
Push off on that attempted header, and Braves probably would have held advantage if they had held on to the ball. The officials again in today's contest: Patrick Schmidt, Taco Cannell, and Jeff Rogerson. As Katie Ryan will be taking this free kick from just about dead center of the field. Plenty of distance on it, but obviously not enough to make a real attempt at the goal. Popped back to the defender, Ryan's sister, and in pursuit on this one is Martinez. Braves have to shuffle back quickly to give it a chance. Riley Searing not able to steal that pass away, finally does so, but right into the legs of Hadley Hughes. Now Retkovich and on to Christina Moreno. They move it right back up into the legs of Miranda Simpson. Picked off by Kate Weisner. Looking ahead. Medeiros flying out in front and able to steal it away from Riley Searing before the freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, had a chance.
That was a beautiful through ball. That's exactly what you were looking for with Searing, the fresh legs, and plus passing from Weisner as well.
Minute number 68, we're still scoreless. Braves do not want to tie. If they tie, they have no chance of claiming the 4th seed. The best they can get in a tie is the 5th seed. And that generally depends on whether or not Georgia College holds on against Columbus State, or I should say takes a lead over Columbus State at some point, as they're still scoreless in the second half.
Well, when you talk about the potential of these two teams maybe turning right back around and playing each other on Tuesday as 4 and 5, that puts a lot up for grabs in this game, because you're controlling basically, do you want the rematch to be on your home field or away from home? And a big difference is if you have to go on the road, you're playing on turf at Young Harris.
Braves have been not as good on the road as they have been at home. We mentioned it, Braves are undefeated in conference play here on the pitch at Lumbee River EMC Stadium, but 5-3 on the road overall. Their 2 conference losses have both been on the road at North Georgia earlier this week, and then all the way back at the end of September when they played against Columbus State. And that one's a bit of a given. Columbus State currently 8-1 in conference play.
The most recent of those losses on turf at North Georgia, and it's an interesting conversation that will be had with Lars Anderson depending on the playing surface, but how does he think that affects his team? Different teams play well on different surfaces, and maybe the Braves feel like playing on natural surface is better than turf.
Katie Ryan intercepting the goal kick, but the footwork fails her just so slightly and taps it out for the throw-in from Young Harris. Riley Searing looking to intercept that pass, doesn't get the chance, and Chagas now. Quickly tapped out to the far side for Miranda Simpson. A name we haven't said much, simply because she's not on the pitch right now, is Lucero Raballo. They've tried to feed her plenty of times during that first half, and seems to be Nick Jaramillo's trying to go in a different direction this half.
And I don't want to over-speculate on that. She has been stretching on the side, I think, to get ready to come back in. But, before the match, getting a little bit of extra stretching and work in. Don't know if she's maybe feeling something a little bit today, too, and they're going to want to be careful with that, of course.
Definitely was lower body that was being attended to in those pregame stretches as the rest of her team went through the pregame warm-ups, but she was being attended to by the athletic trainer.
And again, like I said, I don't want to speculate. That could just be her normal routine too. She wants to put in a little extra stretch, a little extra work. Can't blame a player for that. So it's just something I noticed, but not something I'm confident in.
LaHorn and Katie Watkins on her way in. Shannon O'Neill will take a breather. Watkins, one of 5 seniors on this squad, playing their last regular season home game at Lumbee River EMC Stadium, hoping to pick up one more home game once the day is over. Whistle foul and a Braves free kick. Here in minute number 71 of a scoreless contest.
We've seen frustration building with both sides of the fouls. Notably, though, this crew doesn't seem like it's going to be a crew to call a foul in the attacking third for an offensive side, and that's going to be interesting to see how it affects the aggressiveness of play in the final minutes.
We talked about the physicality. Young Harris has doubled up fouls-wise, nearly so. 11 compared to the Braves' 6. Beautiful free kick contact between Medeiros and Alexis Pittman. They both made a chance at it. Christina Stevenson pulls in and off the touch, finds Riley Searing, looking for the cross, doesn't go, picked up by Young Harris, nearly cleared away. As the Braves are trying to make a run at it. Picked up, intercepted by Carly Rochelle. She hits the dirt. And a whistle foul on the Braves, or no, just a far side throw-in. No horn, but a substitution as well, as Tanisha Taylor rejoins. Sorry, Trevor, go ahead.
No, I was surprised. I thought as well that they'd come in to call a foul. Again, the midfield's getting chippy. If the officials are going to let it go, I think you're going to see this shot total stay low because both defenses are figuring out what they can get away with.
Both teams have already doubled up their shot totals from the first half. But 6 shots for the Braves and 5 shots for Young Harris isn't really much to scoff at.
Not when they average 16 a match. It's definitely been more of a midfield game.
Not a single shot on goal this half for Young Harris either. The Braves have had 1. Ryan lasers it in. On sides was Kate Weisner, but Nicole Medeiros is a bit of a firecracker in net so far today. She's making a few risky decisions, but they've all paid off for her.
But every time she's come off her line, she's come off with such confidence. And with a keeper, that's all you can really ask for at that point, to see another Brave tumbling. But when you have that confident move off the line and you're strong with your hands, as Gina Ryan is for UNC Pembroke, it's going to result in good things like we've seen from Medeiros.
One-timer blocked by Cynical Guzman. The Braves look to turn it around with Riley Searing. Gets muscled away and picked right back up by the Mountain Lions. Elin Peterson one-on-one with Alexis Pittman, and back on the defending side of the field for Young Harris. Peterson once again. Taps it ahead for Tanisha Taylor, and no one's home. Riley Searing will clear it away. Right back to Elin Peterson, though. Pittman turns on the Jets to make an attempt. Christina Stevenson intercepts the pass, gives it off to Christine Rolfs, who clears it away. Beautiful header to save it, though, from Radkovic. And a throw in for Young Harris.
It's an interesting system that Young Harris runs. I like the triangle passing as they move it down the field. It actually mirrors a system that I've been familiar with out of the Pac-12 conference at Washington State that's actually 4-2-2-2, which is very unusual soccer formation, but if you pull it off correctly, it can kind of work off. And it seems like Young Harris is working in that way. They run miniature triangles down the field, and they try to combo through that triangle. They just haven't quite had the third touch on some of the combination passes. The first two have been there. If they work one more, their offense might spring free.
Race to the end line, leads for a goal kick. As Stacey Scott rejoins the game for UNC Pembroke, and I think a lot of that could come down to, Trevor, as you're talking about with the offensive formation that Young Harris is going with, just the scouting of Pembroke's defense. They definitely try for a lot of double teams in general, and if you're going with a lot of those quick touch passes across 3 different players, it can throw off and usually leave at least one striker open.
Well, and then it comes back to, 2 factors off of that. One, how good players are individually marking. It leaves the player that you're mentioning that can come in to help double team, if you will, in a situation. And the other thing being the athleticism that we've talked about throughout the broadcast that UNC Pembroke feels like they have an upper hand in. That athleticism also allows for you to jump the passing lanes, 2 things the Braves done really well this afternoon.
With the athleticism for UNC Pembroke, they've been able to keep the ball pretty far away from Gina Ryan, even though it's spent a majority of, I'd say, the past 3 minutes on this side of the pitch.
Yeah, it sits in this, you can almost call it
no man's land.
The middle third. Yeah, it's just outside of the attacking third, and that's where I feel like that frustration for Young Harris is right there, because they're right on the verge of getting into the attacking third. They're just missing that one last pass to get it on through.
Christine Rolfs fighting on the touchline to try and get a throw in, and she earns it. Or no, it's a whistle foul. She'll get a free kick. A little too much contact there from Tanisha Taylor, the junior out of Berlin. As we mentioned, over half the squad for Young Harris originates from out of these United States. Finally, we see an opportunity for the Braves on this half of the field, and tapped out to the far side. It'll be picked up by Radkovic, and looking for it is Hadley Hughes. The Braves there in time. Stacey Scott looking for the cross. Has an opening slightly, but not much to work with as Nicole Medeiros is there for the scoop. 33rd minute in St. Augustine. Flagler and Clayton State still scoreless. That game will probably have fairly profound impact on whether or not, if the Braves win today, whether they're the 3rd or 4th seed in the Peach Belt Conference. Columbus State and Georgia College scoreless as well. Minute number 60 there, or rather minute number 70. Throw in for Katie Ryan, not able to find Kate Weisner. She'll get another chance at it though here in minute number 77.
These 13 minutes are still going to feel like an eternity when you think about the last match for the Braves. I mean, 5.5 minutes left. That's when Catherine McHale tied it for USC Aiken, and then the Braves scoring into the final minute. And there's a lot of time left in these 13 minutes. Both sides just need to stay calm, not get too frantic.
Well, here's the toss. Unable to find Pittman. The cross doesn't go, but Braves hold on slightly. Picked up by Christina Stevenson outside of the box. Tanisha Taylor's able to get there for Young Harris. Stevenson keeps it in play. Finally cleared out by Emily Ober. Picked up by Jasmine Senecal Guzman right into the shin of Stevenson. Katie Ryan finds an opening, but Elin Peterson is able to tap it right back to her goalkeeper to give them a little more breathing room. Immediately picked off, though, by Christine Rolfs, and that's something the Braves have been feasting on and could use a little more of, is those quick turnarounds on the goal kicks. Regardless, a whistle foul. Onto that pass from Rolfs, she'll have a free kick.
Yeah, I like that ability to switch the field for Young Harris, but again, it's nothing against Young Harris. It's just the Braves have won that 50-50 ball in the midfield, and the volleys have gone their way. It's been a big difference maker.
14th foul for Young Harris. Rolfs the free kick a little too high, but Stacey Scott picks it up, headed to the end line. Maybe looking for a corner, stops it there, splits it around, and finds Kate Weisner. Weisner with some good footwork, crosses it ahead. Too far, though. Picked up and tapped clear by Bailey Roche. Saved by Carly Rochelle. Pittman with the speed in pursuit. Unable to beat Roche, and it's sent aside. Braves will hold on. Rolfs keeps it from going out. They've got a little more time to set up with 11 and a half to go in this matchup, regulation-wise. Rochelle taps it up to the end line. Ratkovich setting the screen to draw the goal kick.
Well done. Nice job just to notice Pittman there, step in front, hold it off for a second. Flip the field, hopefully, and bring back a very important player.
Maria Guzman replacing Eduarda Chagas. The Colombian for the Brazilian. As the Brazilian goalkeeper will take this goal kick. Minute number 80 of a scoreless contest. And remember, the Braves, a tie is as equal to them as a loss in today's contest in terms of seeding for the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Braves turn it around on the goal kick. Kate Weisner keeps her footing on the end or on the touch line, sets an opening, clears it up, and right off the shoulder of Christina Moreno. Alexis Pittman saves it. An opportunity for Christina Stevenson to reset. Unfortunately, no. Picked off by Young Harris into the legs of Martinez. Taking it across. Top of the circle now. Here comes Young Harris. Cleared away. And pinballing now from Jasmine Senecal Guzman. Still scoreless in St. Augustine as well. 34th minute. Down in the city just south of Jacksonville. Picked off by Katie Ryan. Unable to speedy get there in time. Carly Zacharias taps it right up ahead. Picked up by Emily Ober. Hits the deck, looking for the whistle. Advantage was initially given to Young Harris, and with the Braves retaking it, it'll be a free kick. Foul on Katie Ryan.
Yeah, right eye there. They were trying to see if Young Harris would keep possession of this officiating crew was, because initially it was a nice volley forward by Emily Ober. Now a great set-piece opportunity. This is where Young Harris wants to make it count.
Maria Martinez, the senior, looking for her third of the year. Here in the 81st minute. The officials clearing a couple more players out the way. It's a little high tapper. Hauled out of the air by Gina Ryan and just cleared wide. Is this going to be a goal kick or a corner kick? A corner.
It's a mess of bodies over there, but that was why we've talked about the high ball and just trying to see if you can knock it into a position where the keeper loses the handle on it. Very well placed. Free kick, now you earn the corner kick.
Risky play for Gina Ryan. See if it materializes after this. Corner number 2 for Young Harris. Bailey Roche will take it. Little high, affected by the wind. Headed by Senecal Guzman. Tapped away once again by Haley Stewart. Kate Weisner keeps it in play. Alexis Pittman trying to make contact against Martinez, and it's tapped back to Ratkovich and the Mountain Lions defense. Elin Peterson on the far side, back, stolen away by Stacy Scott. Pittman is offsides, but Stacy Scott holds on. Pittman racing for it, and she had to let it go.
Yeah.
Had no chance.
Yeah, there's a point where you're too fast for your own good, and that was excitement for the Braves. And Pittman has to toe that back line, try to stay shoulder to shoulder, and just released just a half a step too early. Well before the pass from Scott, like you said, you could see it brewing, but a heck of a job by Stacey Scott. I mean, she read that pass beautifully.
Kick coming in from Medeiros here in the 83rd minute. Headed by Katie Watkins, picked up by Scott. Young Harris not giving her room to breathe. Watkins not able to handle the pass, and it's taken away by the Mountain Lions. Martinez clears it ahead. In pursuit is Senecal Guzman. She will get there in time. Takes it out to Ryan on the near side. Ryan clears. Picked up immediately by the Mountain Lions. Moreno for Martinez. Back to Moreno. Quick touch. Tanisha Taylor back to Moreno. On the end, offsides, is Martinez, or is Guzman rather, and the Braves will go tit for tat and get a goal kick themselves.
Yeah, Guzman tried to pace Senecal Guzman and just, again, broke. That was much closer, broke within a half a second of the move, but there's that combination play. I mean, that was beautiful. Through the middle of the field, reverse it back out. That's where they got the open space to have the opportunity.
Goal kick from Ryan, rather short, and a Young Harris spin on it, picked up by Guzman. Stacy Scott in pursuit, or rather that's Christina Stevenson. Handled by Emily Ober. She's getting muscled by Katie Ryan. Ryan picks the pocket. Across midfield, looking for Stacy Scott. It's tapped away. Braves still maintain possession as she hands it off to Katie Watkins. Watkins onto the far side for Carly Rochelle. Finds Stacy Scott on the touchline. Racing ahead, perhaps looking for the corner. Doesn't get it.
Checking in for the Braves, number 12.
Braves checking in Shannon O'Neill, sophomore out of Statesville, North Carolina. The assist for Alexis Pittman against USC Aiken just a couple of nights ago, that first goal in the 67th minute. Kate Weisner had the assist on Pittman's game-winning goal, picking up the brace in the 90th minute. Heck of a game that was, and with the way this one is going, we might see another fantastic finish. Goal kick.
You want to talk about time to pull yourself up by your bootstraps for both sides. I mean, this is where it's at now in these final 5 minutes. Really, as we mentioned, a tie doesn't do it for these two sides. That bodes well for excitement down the stretch.
Well, a tie would be favorable for Young Harris. It's what UNC Pembroke is trying to avoid. A tie ensures at least the 4th seed for the Mountain Lions. So they'd be just fine going the full 110 minutes without one finding the back of the net. We reach our final 5 here at Pembroke. Scott onto the end line. Takes it off the leg of a Mountain Lion, and the Braves will have another corner. Number 8 on the day. Rolf sets up for the corner now, and they're still scoreless in St. Augustine. Minute number 37, while Columbus State and Georgia College have both yet to convert themselves. The corner. Angled low, Seneca Guzman, the header, not in time and tapped away. Braves unfortunately weren't able to angle it. Carly Rochelle cleared it out on the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Medeiros.
This mimics a lot of, I think, what Lars Anderson talked about a match ago against USC Aiken, which is getting the ball into position but not finishing in the attacking third. There have been a lot of missed shot opportunities, but the Braves have definitely got it loose in the box. There's just been a mess of bodies that have gotten in the way of trying to get a shot off.
Elin Peterson, Carly Rochelle. Rochelle will try to turn the tables once again in these final 4. Beautiful header to turn it right there by Shannon O'Neill, but it's out on the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for Young Harris. '87th minute, and we finally see Lucero Roballo. She'll replace Tanisha Taylor, and you got to think Nick Jaramillo wants his perhaps strongest striker on the field when the intensity gets this high this late in the match.
And she's a gamer too. You know, she was probably right by coach, tapping on the shoulder saying, hey, you know, let me get these final 5 minutes. Let me try to make something happen.
Pass picked by Christina Stevenson, looking for a hard turn. Goes quite wide with it. Goal kick incoming for Medeiros. Still a relatively quiet game. 7 shots for the Braves, only 3 on goal. Young Harris has only recorded 4 shots this half, and not a single one has found its way to Katie Ryan. Or Gina Ryan. I gotta catch myself sometimes.
We'll allow it. Twins, you see double.
Well, I hope the Ryan parents don't get too mad at me.
Lars Anderson said at times he can't tell them apart. Gina's brace is a big help.
Exactly. Again, picked off by the Braves. Onside is Kate Weisner to the corner, settles. Heads up, looks for a cross, finds an opening, spins around, loses the footing, and Young Harris clears.
Yeah, it's just too long at the feet. It developed, I think, too far inside as well. You had the mess of bodies again. She wanted one more look outside. I understand what Weisner was going for. It was to misdirect the play, but that's a tough break.
Cleared ahead for the Mountain Lions. Seneca Guzman stops Roballo and finds Katie Ryan. Onto the touchline, it stays inbounds. Ryan racing for it. Looking to cross for Pittman, isn't able to get there. Ryan trying to steal it back away. Roballo gets there, takes it away, hits the deck, picked up. Braves, quick timer, up high and wide. Carly Rochelle a chance, but unable to convert here in minute number 89.
Nice job by Medeiros again. No panic. Got the hands up to the corner of the upper 90 and knew once the ball wasn't going to find her hand, just let it go. It avoids the corner.
Braves scored the game winner against USC Aiken with 20 seconds left. I don't think it's good for anyone's heart at this complex if that outcome were to repeat here today.
Start packing baby aspirin with you when you come to UNC Pembroke soccer matches, man.
Ugh. Not a single loss of the Braves this season has been decided by more than one goal. 1-0 loss versus Limestone for the season opener, 2-1 at Columbus State, and then 2-1 at North Georgia. Alongside with the 2-1 loss at Belmont Abbey, the only losses the Braves have suffered this year.
And you want to talk about that Limestone match? I mean, I think 3 times they hit post or crossbar too, the Braves, so that easily could have been a match you could have said maybe we deserve to win, but it's definitely been a very tightly contested home schedule.
Final minute of regulation. Braves look to make it happen fast, but on this side of the field, it'll be a bit of a stretch. They do have the throw in though. Christine Rolfs. Finding Stacy Scott, but Young Harris keeps it in. Christina Stevenson now sets up Rolfs for the clearance. Ahead for Carly Rochelle, and out on the Braves, a throw in for Young Harris. Most likely have one more chance before we go to break, headed into overtime.
I'm in no hurry here for the Mountain Lions. Just keep it on that side.
As we said, a tie is more beneficial for Young Harris than it is anyone else, as we've reached the full 90. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got 10 minutes of Golden Goal overtime up next here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast. I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Well, it wouldn't be a senior night. It wouldn't be a great lead into the conference tournament, Trevor Williams, with a little bit of extra contest. And we've got at least 10 more minutes to play. Golden goal overtime incoming at Lumbee River EMC Stadium. Matt Sabatis with you alongside Trevor Williams, and boy, oh boy, is this going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we talked about this being a precursor to the Peach Belt Conference tournament, a practice tournament match, if you will. The way that things are unfolding right now around the Southeast, the Braves, this overtime now takes on huge importance. They've got to play this like it is a tournament game, and they're playing for their lives because that's what they're doing seeding-wise.
Well, it absolutely is. With the current scores in the Peach Belt Conference, Georgia College has taken a 2-0 lead over Columbus State. Clayton State is trailing Flagler 2-0 as well. So if all three of the current scores remain, including this current 0-0 tie, the Braves would be the 6th seed. That's the lowest they can potentially fall, and they would hit the road to take on Flagler, while Young Harris would be the 4th seed, and Georgia College would become the 5th seed. They'd leapfrog over UNC Pembroke. Young Harris would take the 4th seed spot, and UNC Pembroke would follow the 6th seed. Clearly something they want to avoid, but at the same time, it means that Young Harris has done just about what they need to do in this matchup, and that's at least take it to overtime. If they can take the draw, they'll be a lock-in for the 4th seed.
And reading body language right now, you can tell the Braves feel like they have something to prove after the first 90. I think Young Harris knows they have to weather the storm, but they can't really approach it with that mentality. If you go sit back against this Braves team and try to do it for 20 minutes, that's awfully difficult to do.
Well, first touch for Young Harris, and they're quickly going with some of these quick triangle one-touch passes, keeping it on their side of the pitch for understandable reason. Golden goal for a max of 20 more minutes before we reach a 0-0 draw.
And that's the only difference we get from a tournament or an NCAA game, is we don't get to finish in the exciting shootout.
Oh, PKs would be nice right now. On to the far side, it's tapped out of bounds, and rather a whistle foul for UNC Pembroke, and Young Harris will have the free kick. Minute number 1 of this first overtime period. Each team a 6-2-1 mark in conference play. The winner will secure at least the 4th seed. The loser will have to hit the road for the first round of the conference tournament, which is on Halloween. Young Harris starting a slow attack now, picked up by Maria Guzman. On the far side, it's thrown out by Bailey Roche. Goal kick for Gina Ryan here in minute number 2. Ryan sets up and heaves it away. Again, a relatively short one with a spin in favor of Young Harris. Quickly picked up by Lucero Raballo and right back into the hands of Gina Ryan.
The Barmy Army has not been hindered into the extra time.
Oh, I can only assume they'd even get more intense.
I don't know, Ed's voice, I did talk to him at the half. He's had quite the week.
It's a little understandable. Moonlight Madness, he was a pretty big part of the event, a random selection. Onside to Stacy Scott to the corner, looking for the cross, sets up, blocked away. Sonia Ratkovic with a beautiful defensive play, but sets the Braves up for a corner.
Well directed for the corner. That speed's coming back for Stacy Scott. You can tell she's on the mend. I'd guess about 80% right now. You'd have to talk to her to find exactly where she's at, but this is what the Braves love, corner kick opportunities, and they'll have Scott and Cynical Guzman riding on the backside post.
Well, the fantastic athletic training staff led by Rose Bussey has done a fantastic job. The corner directly into the hands of Medeiros, and looks to be a whistle foul on the Braves as Cynical Guzman tried to give that one a go.
Thank goodness Medeiros gets up all right. Looks like she's going to move just fine.
I think she was just waiting for the pile to clear before. Understandably so.
And again, you know, that's the aggressive play. No one, it was on the ground, you know, that she got taken out. On the far side, you know, they want a card, this young Harris, but it seemed fairly inadvertent. Just glad everybody's okay out of it.
We saw a nearly equally scary situation with USC Aiken and their goalie Cadwallader just a couple of days ago. Went down an attempted save one-on-one with Alexis Pittman, and a little bit of contact between Pittman and Cadwallader, and Cadwallader had to be taken out of the game after struggling to reposition herself for, I'd say, about 3 whole minutes before the officials finally said, hey, we got to get you out of here.
Well, at this point of the season, you just don't want to see that for anybody approaching the Peach Belt tournament.
Momentum quickly turned and just tapped away, saved by Haley Stewart.
That was nearly too dangerous for UNC Pembroke.
I don't think Stewart and Rolfs were quite aware of how quickly the Mountain Lions were closing in.
It was an effort play big time by Lucero Raballo, who we talked about in the open. I mean, she came off the right shoulder of Haley Stewart, and like you said, Stewart didn't necessarily know she was there.
Well, Raballo sat out for most of that second half. So you got to think she's probably got some of the freshest legs on this pitch right now.
We'd speculate about, you know, is there something that's hampering her? We have no idea if there is, but even in that scenario, there's enough adrenaline flowing right now that both these sides are going to be playing through their injuries pretty well.
95th minute here at Lumbee River EMC Stadium, and another throw in for young Harris on the Brave side of the pitch. Quick one-timer across. Katie Ryan in pursuit, one-on-one with Bailey Roche. Who's going to win this one? It's Roche looking for the corner. Instead flips it back around. Braves in pursuit, one-on-one with Emily Obernow. Christine Rolfs not using her speed, looking to rely on power towards the corner, and taps it away for the throw-in, just shy of the end line. Bit of a fight for it, another throw-in. Right to Hadley Hughes. Big defensive star this matchup, and sets up a quick chance, and Katie Ryan is able to break up the play.
It's good angles. All the last 3 plays by the UNCP defensive backline started with Katie Ryan on the far side, didn't give up end line. Christine Rolfs kept it to a throw-in, and then one more straight-up mark for Haley Stewart over there. All of those were very well done by the backline, and put another gold star up for UNC Pembroke.
Sitting in a golden goal opportunity here in minute number 96. Braves need to avoid the tie in order to host a Peach Belt Conference tournament game. Alexis Pittman takes the slide from Ratkovic. And the officiating crew saying off of Pittman. It'll be a throw-in for young Harris.
And that was going to be close. If Pittman kept it carrying forward and had she toppled over the defender, I think she could have drawn the whistle. That was going to be close to saying whether or not that defender really got to the ball or if she played the feet of Pittman instead.
Final at Georgia College. Columbus State was able to sink one, but they're handed their second conference loss of the season, the Cougars are. In Georgia College, a phenomenal upset in the regular season finale, which does put a slight damper in the Braves' plans.
I think I told you in the first half I like that Georgia College team, and you know that's a testament to what the Peach Belt Tournament's going to hold. There's a potential for anybody to get the win 1 through 8.
Cleared away by Ryan. If this score remains currently, or if the Braves fall today, they'll drop from currently the 4th seed all the way down to the 6th seed with the Georgia College upset. They need the golden goal winner to host a tournament game. Kate Weisner looking for the cross. Sets it up high for Stacy Scott. It's in! Braves win!
Time and time again, wouldn't you know that Stacy Scott and Kate Weisner connect. Kate Weisner loves to start those plays, and it's fitting that Stacy Scott, who's battled through so much over the last couple of weeks, will be there to finish it.
In the 97th minute, Stacy Scott, her first goal since going down with injury at Lenore Ryan, and you said it best, Trevor. She's been looking better and better and better out there, and she brought it today.
And maybe that last bit of momentum, the last bit of adrenaline that can flow through, and a must-win game for the Braves the way it turned out this afternoon to be able to host. And that's a huge monkey off the team's back to know that Monday night they're sleeping in their own beds and they're playing here.
1-0 tonight's final. The Braves, with the Flagler College game still in the second half, and a 2-0 lead there, will most likely host this same Young Harris team on Halloween night. We'll talk to you then, but until then, we've got football in less than 2 hours. So, Trevor, let's rush over there, and we'll talk to you in just a little bit. Thanks for joining us right here on the UNCP Sports Network.